Okay, excited about the opportunity to represent Michigan State at the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Should be an exciting atmosphere for our football team. A lot of our guys have not been in New York City. I've heard great things about the bowl game from various coaches who played there, Big Ten and otherwise. Our student-athlete experience should be outstanding there. Played against a good Wake Forest team who was 8-4 and plays extremely well on the offensive side of the ball. Got some different statistics offensively. Coach Clausen is a Midwest guy from Bowling Green, and he's done a great job there. And then down at Wake Forest, Yankee Stadium, the opportunity to play there should be outstanding as well. Something many of our players certainly have not been exposed to, so we'll have an opportunity to play there. Tough to win. We'll look forward to taking the next step and being 7-6, and that's the best that we can do at this point in time. So last night a little bit, watched the game a little bit, and took a step back in time and had opportunities to represent Michigan State in that game. I think 3 out of 5 times there, and 11, 13, and 15. So it takes you back a little bit. So we need to continue to ride the horse towards that horizon. So I'll take some questions, go from there.
Mark, Dimitri Douglas obviously went into transfer portal either yesterday or the day before. I'm curious if you could say anything on that. And
yeah, I'm here to talk about the bowl game.
Do you expect any extra attrition before the game or anything like that?
It's unknown. Focus on the game.
Mike, right here. Have you had anybody talk to you about possibly sitting out this game? Obviously, Justin last year made his decision. And is that something you addressed beforehand, or wait for guys?
No, I'm just coming off the road, so have not seen our football team. Don't anticipate that, but you never know. So we'll deal with that as it comes. But been through a recruiting weekend this weekend, so really haven't been around our players, and we'll have an opportunity here this next weekend to look at things. Exam week comes this week, so our guys are busy.
Mark, have you been to Yankee Stadium personally? And do you have any connections to anybody on the staff there at Wake Forest?
No, I have not been to Yankee Stadium, so I'm looking forward to it. And no, I don't have any relationships with anybody there at Wake. Other than Coach Clausen, I know him a little bit.
Mark, what are the challenges of playing a December game outside? It's something that, it's the latest of the year this program will ever play a game outside, cold weather.
Yeah, I think we're conditioned for that. That's the very least. We've played in the cold, we've experienced it, and we'll have an opportunity to train in it a little bit as well. So we'll get. I don't think that'll be a problem for us.
Is that something where how much will you have to get that practice outside? Is it kind of a throwback in some ways to?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but I think that probably New York City is a little warmer temperature-wise than probably here. But we'll have to see how it all plays out. And but we'll have an opportunity to practice here in these environments, and then also over there. So we'll be ready to go.
Mark, in the middle here. After 2 straight years in California, obviously New York is a much different destination. But when you look at the possibilities between Detroit and New York, how much different does this bowl game make it, the ending of the season for you guys, where you get an actual trip instead of just going 90 miles down the road?
We were going to make whatever experience we had the opportunity to make a great experience for our student athletes, for our players. So regardless of which bowl game we went to, we were going to embrace that and move forward. I think the main thing, what makes everybody happy is when you win the bowl game. We've been to California, we put our guys on the coast and let them walk into the Pacific, which a lot of guys have never done that. Now we'll have an opportunity to take our football team to New York City, and a lot of our guys have never been to New York City, so that'll be another experience that they'll remember for the rest of their life, and I think those are the type of things that when you're in these bowl games, I think you have to bring that forward as well. So that'll be a great experience. I hear the Yankees do a tremendous job with the bowl game, and I've already looked at their itineraries and everything that they have laid out, and it's very organized and looks like it's very well run, and that they're going to have an opportunity to do some unique things.
Mark, we talked too about the bowl game kind of being a springboard for the next year. We see Oregon, who you played last year, and they're going to be in the Rose Bowl. What is the key? I know there's a lot that goes into it, but the key to making sure that happens in these games and it creates that sort of momentum.
Well, I think you want to have momentum leaving your season to be going like this. We were able to do that in 12, and it paid dividends to 13. As far as this year, we look forward to doing that. And as I said before, you just sort of ride towards the horizon. And can't really answer that question. I just know that 7 and 6 is better than 6 and 7, is better than 6 and 6. And that's where we find ourselves right now. I don't like being there, but at the same time, we are where we're at, and so we need to be able to do something about that. We've got a relatively young team coming back in a lot of ways. We lose some good players, but in a lot of ways, some of those players have been hurt. Darryl Stewart, some of our offensive linemen, those type of things. We've had injuries, so we hopefully will get some of these guys back, but we'll see as we go through this next week.
Mark, with the bowl game being so early compared to other games on the first, you're going to have to start your bowl practices pretty quickly?
Yeah, we'll start them next Friday, Saturday, and then begin on do bowl prep, and then begin on Monday and through the week.
And do you know when you guys will leave?
I will leave the 22nd, the 23rd, Monday the 23rd.
With those extra bowl practices, I'm curious, is there certain things that you're going to be looking for within those? And I know a couple weeks ago you were asked about mixing in more quarterbacks. Is that one of those things you may be looking at?
We're going to make sure that we give our younger quarterbacks an opportunity in practice, whether that we can't play 4 guys in the bowl game, but we're going to make sure that we give them opportunities in practice to get meaningful reps. And I think sometimes in bowl practice or in normal practices, you tend to go 1s and 2s, and your 3s and 4s don't get as many reps. So we need to make sure that they have an opportunity to show what they have, meaningful reps within reason.
Mark, with the early signing period coming up, do you expect all your commits to sign in 18th to the 20th?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You've already mentioned, I think last week, Kevin Jarvis is planning to redshirt. Is he healthy enough to play in the game at all? Or?
Well, we don't really want to talk about injuries right now, but we'll see how that shakes out. Like I said, I haven't been here for a week. So.
Mark, I would assume that you've been busy recruiting, the staff's been recruiting, but you mentioned too, we talked about evaluating staff and all of that. Does that come after this game? Do you see that as after the season, or have you begun?
That's an after the season thing as we go forward. That's an after the season thing. Right now, my focus is on signing our class, getting ready for a bowl game, student athlete experience, winning a football game, winning a bowl game. And I will say this, that as I said earlier, when I sat back and watched that game last night and put myself back in that, at that point in time, there were a lot of other people that were back in that point in time with me. So, I'll make those decisions, we'll make those decisions and sit down and think about those type of things after the fact.
Mark, you've mentioned that you've never been to, back here, hi. You mentioned that you've never been to Yankee Stadium before, but to be able to play a football game there, what do you think the atmosphere is going to be like in terms of in a place that's usually known for baseball?
Yeah, I don't know that. I know that there's a lot of Spartans on the East Coast, and this will give them an opportunity to come to New York City on the 27th and be a part of that. That's a very festive time in New York City, and then also an opportunity to watch the Spartans play. So it should be a good experience. But I don't know that. I've watched the game. It's been a great game. It's been well run. It's at 3:30, I think 3:20 slot maybe on ESPN on a Friday. So there'll be millions watching. So there'll be an opportunity to represent, and we need to do those type of things.
Mark, I know you mentioned you've been on the road recruiting. How much have you been able to explore the portal as an incoming flux for recruits? And is that something you want to do? And have you been able to get out on the road and talk to some of those guys this month?
Yeah, that's an interesting concept, the transfer portal. There's over 2,000 people in the transfer portal. And it's very difficult to look at it. So we've segmented it out. We have one guy who deals with just the portal. But it's sort of difficult to try and figure your way through it right now. You got to look at grades. You got to look at where they're at in terms of, are they going to have to sit out? Are they graduate transfers? So there's all these different categories I think you have to look at relative to what the needs are and things of that nature. So we are looking at those things. But in the first week, I thought the most important pressing thing was for me to be where I need to be with our current committed guys. And so that's what I've focused on. It's interesting though. Very good. Okay. Thanks so much. Looking forward to it.